All right, so we're going to do some work to try to understand how to solve the 12 Days of Christmas problem. And so the problem requires us to add the number of gifts for every day up to the day that's being considered. So we're going to start with something simple. So let's say I have the first day of Christmas, and then the first and the second day of Christmas, and then the first, second, and third day of Christmas. Okay, so this represents all the gifts that are received up to the third day. So what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and rearrange these numbers to try to come up with a formula. And so I'm going to put the 3 up there, the 2 2s over here, and then I'm going to put the 1s over here, and then I'm going to rearrange these in opposite order. So the 1 is going to stay, but the 2 and the 1 are going to go to opposite sides, and the 3 and the 2 and the 1 are going to go to opposite sides. And what I'm going to see is that if I add these numbers, I get 5. And actually, if I add these, I get 5. And any corresponding set of cells, I'm going to end up with 5. So you can double check, but all of those add up to 5. Okay, so now the question is, how many 5s are there here? Well, there's 1 in the top row, there's 2 5s in the second row, and 3 in the third row. So that corresponds to the last day that we're considering. This is the third day of Christmas, plus all the gifts prior to that. But what is that? Well, it's 1 plus 2 plus 3. And if we wanted to add up all the 5s, then we would take however many there are in each row and multiply them by 5. Okay, so it turns out that there's a formula for this sum. And what you do for this formula, it goes like this: n over 2 brackets 2a plus n minus 1 times d. Okay, now the n is the 3, the a is the first number, and the d is the difference between the numbers. So this is the difference of 1, this is the difference of 1. So it boils down to n over 2 brackets 2 times 1 is just 2, and then plus n minus 1 times, well, the d is also 1, the a is 1, and the d is 1. So it actually simplifies even further. It becomes n over 2 brackets n plus 1. And if I do it for this problem, then my n is 3 over 2 brackets 3 plus 1 brackets. So it's 3 times 4 over 2, which is 6. And yeah, indeed, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 5s. So this is the same as 6 times 5, which is 30, except that this number is too big because we did this, we had 3 of these sums. So I have to divide this by 3, and we get 10. And it's kind of hidden there, but this is the number of gifts up to day 3. Now, we could do this same thing with a different day. Okay. Let's go to day 4. And so we go to day 4, it's going to be 1, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4. Rearranging them, I do 4, 3, 3, 2, 2, 2, 1, 1, 1, 1. 1, 2, 1, 3, 2, 1, 4, 3, 2, 1. If I add all the rearrangements, I end up with 6 everywhere. And if I want to find out how many 6s there are, then I can use this. Oops, well, it was this formula. How many 6s are there? Well, there are, now my n is 4. This is n. So it'd be 4 over 2 brackets 4 plus 1 which is 4 times 5 over 2, which is 20 divided by 2, which is 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And there's 10 6s, so that's 60. But because I have 3 collections of numbers, I want to divide by 3. And so the sum is 20. And that's the number of gifts that's received up to day 4. And so finally, if we want to come up with a general formula, you know you've got to have n times n plus 1 over 2. That's this piece. And then one thing to notice is that the 6 over here is 2 more than 4. The 5s are 2 more than 3. And that continues to happen. So it's n plus 2 more. That's how many, that's the value of the numbers that end up in the final triangle. And then remember that we had to divide by 3 because we had 3 collections. And so the formula is n times n plus 1 times n plus 2 divided by 6. And that's the formula that you can use to figure out how many gifts were given up to a particular day on the 12 Days of Christmas problem.